Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day 2. Today's Shloka will be Shloka number 2 and 3 of chapter 16. Ahimsa satyam akrodha
Ahimsa satyam akrodha
tyagah shantirapayishunam
tyagah shantirpaishunam
daya bhuteshvaloluptvam
daya bhuteshvaloluptvam
mardavam hrirachapalam
madhavam rirachapalam
तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम्
tejah shama dhritihi shaucham
अद्रोहो नातिमानिता
adroho natimanita
भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम्
bhavanti sampadam daivim
अभिजातस्य भारत.
abhijatasya bharata.
So we'll just read the translation since we've read the word for word meaning yesterday and then go to the purport. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
fearlessness,
fearlessness,
purification of one's existence,
purification of one's existence,
cultivation of spiritual knowledge,
cultivation of spiritual knowledge,
charity,
charity,
self-control,
self-control,
performance of sacrifice,
performance of sacrifice,
study of the Vedas,
study of the Vedas,
austerity,
austerity,
simplicity,
simplicity,
non-violence,
non-violence,
truthfulness,
truthfulness,
freedom from anger,
freedom from anger,
renunciation,
renunciation,
tranquility,
tranquility,
aversion to fault-finding,
aversion to fault-finding,
compassion for all living entities,
compassion for all living entities,
freedom from covetousness,
freedom from covetousness,
gentleness,
gentleness,
modesty,
modesty,
steady determination,
steady determination,
vigor,
vigor,
forgiveness,
forgiveness,
fortitude,
fortitude,
cleanliness,
cleanliness,
and freedom from envy
and freedom from envy,
and from the passion for honor.
and from the passion for honor.
These transcendental qualities,
These transcendental qualities,
O son of Bharata,
O son of Bharata,
belong to godly men
belong to godly men,
endowed with divine nature.
endowed with divine nature.
So, yesterday we read about several qualities that are attributable for sannyasis, brahmacharis, grihastas, vanaprasthas, etc. And today we're going to go into the rest of the characteristics that one has to develop, again based on varnashrama. So beginning with ahimsa. Srila Prabhupada says, ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after the killing of the body, there is no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. So Prabhupada is saying, because we know that there is a difference between matter and spirit, we shouldn't think anyway the soul is going to occupy another body. So we should have the freedom to kill the animals that we want for the purposes of consuming their flesh. That is not appropriate. People are now addicted to eating animals in spite of having an ample supply of grains, fruits, and milk. There is no necessity for animal killing. This injunction is for everyone. When there is no alternative, one may kill an animal, but it should be offered in sacrifice. So the Vedic scriptures do allow for consumption of meat, but under restricted conditions. At any rate, when there is an ample food supply for humanity, persons who are desiring to make advancement in spiritual realization should not commit violence to animals. Real ahimsa means not checking anyone's progressive life, which means that animal also has a next birth. So we shouldn't check that through killing. Anyway, there is a tit for tat, an eye for an eye, etc. Even in our shastras. The animals are also making progress in their evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category of animal life to another. If a particular animal is killed, then his progress is checked. If an animal is staying in a particular body for so many days or so many years and is untimely killed, then he has to come back again in that form of life to complete the remaining days in order to be promoted to another species of life. Such a tragedy if an animal gets killed untimely, Prabhupada is writing, it has to come back in that same body to complete the remaining portion of what it was supposed to have. Which means if it had died naturally, it would have gone to the next stage of transmigration of that particular body. So their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. This is called ahimsa. Satyam. This word means that one should not distort the truth for some personal interest. In Vedic literature, there are some difficult passages, but the meaning or the purpose should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. That is the process for understanding the Vedas. Shruti means that one should hear from the authority. One should not construe some interpretation for his personal interest. There are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita that misinterpret the original text. The real import of the word should be presented, and that should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. Essentially, Satyam means not to play around with the facts for a particular purpose to suit your own purposes. So you have to be very careful when we are speaking. That is a very important characteristic of a devotee. Akrodha means to check anger. Even if there is provocation, one should be tolerant. For once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendentally situated should check himself from anger. Apaishunam means that one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Again, this is a very important instruction for us. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life. Hri means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Achapalam, determination, means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. He should make progress with patience and determination. So even failures, Prabhupada is saying, we have to learn how to take it in stride. We should not get frustrated and feel like we are not good enough. We should be patient and we should be determined, and with that, we can make progress. The word tejas used here is meant for the kshatriyas. The kshatriyas should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. They should not pose themselves as non-violent. So the kshatriyas do not follow the non-violence instruction. If violence is required, they must exhibit it. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offenses. Shaucham means cleanliness, not only in mind and body, but in one's dealings also. It is especially meant for the mercantile people who should not deal in the black market. Nati manita, not expecting honor, applies to the Shudras, the worker class. which are considered, according to Vedic injunctions, to be the lowest of the four classes. They should not be puffed up with unnecessary prestige or honor and should remain in their own status. It is the duty of the Shudras to offer respect to the higher class for the upkeep of the social order. All these 26 qualifications mentioned are transcendental qualities. They should be cultivated according to the different statuses of social and occupational order. The purport is that even though material conditions are miserable, if these qualities are developed by practice by all classes of men, then gradually it is possible to rise to the highest platform of transcendental realization. So, with this, the purport for Prabhupada is concluded. Just a quick summary of what this entire chapter is about. Why are all these qualities being spoken about? Of course, we are focused on the divine qualities. In the next shloka, we will look at the demonic qualities. Nature means how we are born with. All of us have certain tendencies, certain physical characteristics, or even psychophysical characteristics, likes and dislikes that are innate to us, innate not only at the level of the soul, but at the level of the body and the mind that we have based on our previous karma. So essentially, there are three ways in which we acquire whatever qualities we have: nature, nurture, and culture. Nature is what we are born with, and that is also connected to our karma from our previous lives. Nurture is what values you cultivate in this life. So essentially, it is influenced by your family as well, what you actually nurture. Culture, it's the environment and association in which we live, where we are actually growing. So the environment, which is essentially what is the association that we're keeping. If we are keeping the association of devotees, eventually we will also develop those transcendental qualities. If we are keeping association of materialistic people, then we will develop those qualities as well. So beyond this nature, nurture, and culture is what is called free will. All these shape our behavior, but they don't absolutely determine our behavior. We can still use our free will and choose to act differently, which means the important lesson here is that we need not be shackled by nature, nurture, and culture. We still have our free will to practice bhakti yoga and change the way in which we conduct ourselves. Divine nature leads to liberation, and demoniac natures lead to bondage. So we should choose to act in divine nature. This, of course, the Lord Himself will say in the next couple of shlokas that those who cultivate divine qualities ultimately will achieve liberation. But those who cultivate the demoniac qualities will only be bound further and further. So, the essence of these three shlokas is what are the qualities that we should cultivate based on Varnashram. Of course, for a devotee, we should try and cultivate all these qualities with probably a few exceptions like violence by the Kshatriyas. Brahmanical qualities means we should be non-violent. Right? So a devotee will always be non-violent. Therefore, we will follow that ahimsa.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.